might have gone about it differently. Will it ever change?
I've heard a thing or two.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
You really didn't deserve that.
That doesn't surprise me.
You wouldn't be so sure.
That's been known a long time.
It was just like you said.
You don't say.
You really think?
Really? How interesting.
I never knew that.
You don't have to tell me that.
I wouldn't be so sure.
About the weapons dealer?
Show me what you have.
I found this rapier with the bandits. The letter F is carved on the pommel.
And? What else?
That's all.
That isn't enough. That could be almost anyone in the upper quarter. It looks as though you'll have to follow the trail of the bandits and the weapons delivery farther until we find out who's behind it. Maybe you should talk to Vatris again.
What do you have to...
Then
I already thought as much.
tell me that isn't true.
He would have never thought of that himself.
Talks too much. That's what I've always said.
That's been known a long time.
Don't tell this to anyone. Someone's got to do the work. Everybody knows by now. Who says things like that? Really? How interesting. That's an open secret.
About...
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
Nobody wants to know.
This is gonna change.
He simply talks too much.
He'd better shut up.
That's what I've always said.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
Someone's got to do the work.
That's not what my husband thinks.
And he works all day, too.
But that's terrible. How interesting.
He had better shut up.
Who says things like that?
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
I can't take care of everything for everybody.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
Now that's typical, isn't it?
Don't tell this to anyone.
And he works all day, too.
I don't believe that.
But that's terrible.
That's not what my husband thinks.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
That's not what my husband thinks.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
That's not what my husband thinks. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
I can't take care of everything for everybody.
Go away. Don't tell me that.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
Someone's got to do the work.
And it's gonna get even worse.
He can't keep anything to himself.
He can't keep anything to himself.
Nothing to plunder. Nothing to plunder. What with? Nothing there. Well, kiddo?
That's no way for a farmhand to talk to me. Just how often do I have to remind you?
Are you in charge here?
No, I'm only Sekup's son. But once my old man is no longer with us, then all the land you can see here will belong to me.
Amazing. Is that how you always treat your field workers?
Of course, they need that. Whoever doesn't toe the line here gets thrashed. That's the way it goes.
So what do you do when you're not busy playing ruler of the farm?
Stand guard. The filthy militiamen from the city are coming onto our land more and more often and stealing everything they can get their hands on. Only last week the bastards were here, and they took some of our sheep. If I could get my hands on one of them, I'd make short work of him.
But of course. Why don't the mercenaries help you against the militia?
Before they even turn up, I've already driven them off.
Has anyone blown your nose for you today?
Leave me alone, you idiot.
Has any...
Leave me.
So where are we headed then?
Are you the foreman here?
I'll give you one upside the head, you rascal. If you want to go ambling across my land, you'll pay me 5 gold coins, or you're in for a good thrashing.
Your land? Are you the farmer here?
You can bet on that. Why else would I make you pay me a toll? I don't mind if you go ask the others about me.
Forget it. You won't get anything from me.
Then I'm afraid I'm gonna have to tan your hide.
Come on and try it then.
Well, in that case... Don't you try that again.
So, still got that big mouth?
Don't beat me, please! I'll even go back to work, okay?
How are things?
Ah, a new face here on the farm. Has the old skinflint finally granted me an apprentice?
I'm not an apprentice.
Oh, I see. I'm not as young as I used to be, you know, and I've been waiting for a replacement for years. You aren't here because the neighbors are annoyed, are you?
What's the work you do here?
Oh, I guard the sheep, and I've been doing that for as long as I can remember. The animals are very loyal and very smart, you see. If you treat them well, they'll follow you for a lifetime.
Have you seen any bandits passing through here?
I certainly have. They passed along the edge of the field near Sekob's farm and entered the forest to the north.
The farmer on the high pastures always makes a big deal out of it when I take the animals up there. He says Sekob should pay if I take his animals onto Bengar's pasture. But Sekob won't spend a measly coin for that, so I can't go up onto the plateau anymore.
Maybe I should talk to Bengar.
You do that for me? What will you tell him? I mean, I don't want any trouble, you hear?
We'll see about that. Where can I find the high pastures in Bengar's farm?
Follow this path and cross the big crossroad. If you stick to the right, you'll see a big outcropping of rock. Behind that, to the right, are the high pastures and the pass.
Everything else all right?
Oh, I can't complain. Thanks for asking.
How's it going?
You're not one of us, huh? I'd get out of here if I were you.
Why?
This wasn't a paradise before, but at least we were left in peace as long as we did our work for Sekob. But lately it's become unbearable. Bandits are everywhere, field raiders destroy the entire harvest, and the landowner is getting to be pretty brutal.
Are you afraid of the landowner then?
You bet. If the landowner doesn't like people's faces, he sends his mercenaries after him, and that's the last you see of them. So we prefer to keep our mouths closed.
Shouldn't the mercenaries take care of the field raiders?
I don't know what they're being paid for, but certainly not to help us common people. The field raider problem is left to the small farmers who rent the fields from him.
How do you protect yourselves against the bandits?
We don't. We run away. What else?
Keep your chin up.
That's not so easy if you're working for Sekob, the slave driver.
Hey! Hello, beautiful maid.
Stop trying to sweet-talk me, boy. And tell me what you want. I'm busy.
How's the field work coming?
Look at these huge fields we have to work, and you know how we're doing. Are you looking for farm work?
Maybe.
In that case, you should go and see our farmer Sekob, the old slave driver. Maybe he's got something for you. Of course. You could also try Onar's farm at the end of the long road. But beware of the mercenaries. They don't take to strangers.
Say, the nasty fellow over there.
That's Bronco. What about him?
Is that your farmer?
Is that what he told you? Sekob is our farmer. Bronco is nothing but a layabout and a good-for-nothing, but strong as an ox. That's why nobody says anything when he doesn't work. The only people who could get him to work are the mercenaries. He's afraid of them.
And apart from that?
I'm busy.
So, busy as a bee, are you?
You won't go fetch those mercenaries, huh? Don't beat me, please. I'll even go back to work, okay?
There's this guy who demands a toll from every passerby, claiming he's the farmer.
Yes, I know. That's Bronco. He does whatever he wants. Not that I haven't pounded it into him 1,000 times that he should finally get back to work.
But
He just doesn't do it. My father's quite annoyed with me that I still haven't managed to persuade him to go back to work.
maybe I can help you.
Do you mean that? Okay, listen. If you can get Bronco to go back to work, I'll pay you, shall we say, 10 gold pieces? What do you say?
No problem, but I want more money.
All right, 20 gold pieces then.
I want more.
30?
I want more.
Maybe 50?
All right, I'll see what I can do.
But hurry up about it.
Hey, you! Sus.
Don't be... I'll... You'll rep...
My God, how brutal.
Nothing to be had there.
Don't you try that again.
Wait a minute. So,
You won't go... Don't be... I'll leave...
Bronco's back at work.
Really? That's terrific.
Yeah, and now I want my cash.
Well, business is business, right?
Is anyone...
Leave me alone.
Hey, you!
Filthy thief, just you wait.
Hey! Everything all right with you?
Well, it's so-so. My back hurts from all this hard labor. What are you doing here? I don't get visitors here all that often. Usually it's either some cutthroats from the mountains or those horrible malicious soldiers from the city. They've been raiding our farm rather frequently lately, but you don't look like you're one of them, or are you?
What are you doing here?
I've been asking myself that for several years. Sekab, my husband, has fallen out with everyone in the area by now. He's in debt everywhere, and so he steals goods from Onar stocks and sells them in town. By now, he's accumulated a fortune with his underhanded dealings, and he works our field hands until their backs break. His own people call him nothing but slave driver these days. I'm not particularly proud to call myself the wife of Sekab. Believe me, sometimes I wish the barrier were still in place. Would you like to buy something to eat? Or perhaps something for hunting in the forest?
What can you offer me?
What do you want?
Barrier?
Well, it's the dome that used to enclose the old Valley of Mines. Many of the farmers and workers who committed a crime back then were simply tossed in there, and they never came back.
Why did the militia attack you on your farms here?
Because there's nobody there to prevent them from simply plundering our farms instead of buying our goods. The king is far away, and we just have to put up with working for Onar and hoping that Onar will send help when we really need it.
What does Onar's help look like?
Sometimes we receive warning in advance when some militiamen are planning to pay us a visit on their own account to rob us. Then we send somebody to the old landowner to ask him for help. And then usually, it doesn't take long for the mercenaries he pays to come here and chase off the militia. But when all is said and done, the mercenaries aren't much better.
Have you ever been at the barrier?
No, we only heard about it. Bengar, the farmer on the high pastures, can surely tell you more about that. His farm is quite close to the pass which leads to the Valley of Mines.
How can I get to Bengar's farm?
Go ask Balthazar. He's our shepherd. He sometimes leads his animals to graze on Bengar's pastures up there. He'll be able to tell you how to get there.
Keep your chin up.
Take care of yourself and don't let them get to you.
I'll never get this open without the right key. Listen.
I don't have any work for you at the moment. Now go.
Listen.
I don't have any...
Where do you think you're going?
How would that be any concern of yours?
Then I'll have to explain it to you carefully.
And now for the fun part. And now A fight. And now for the and now. And now. And now. And now. And now. And now.
You'll regret this.
Finish him! Finish him! Slug him! Don't stop now! And finish him! Shit, that hurt.
Ah, you showed him.
Where do you think you're going?
Cut out that magic!
How would
And now for the fun part! And now, 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 and now. Let that be a lesson to him.
Where do you think you're going? How would that be any concern of yours?
And now for the fun part. Cut out that magic. Hey, you're not quite as stupid as... And now, 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 and now. Finish him! Slug him!
Don't you ever dare attack me again. Put down that weapon. Hey, you're not quite as stupid as you look. You again? Trying to pick another fight with me, are you?
I have come to join you.
Nice for you. Do you understand that the mercenaries are going to vote whether you get to join them or not?
Will you vote for me?
It doesn't work that way, boy. If I'm expected to vote for you, you're going to have to send some gold my way.
How much?
50 gold pieces. That's the toll you would have paid anyway.
And? How are things?
Not many people come except you.
And?
Not many people come this way, but up to now, every one of them has paid my toll. Except you.
Here's your 50 gold pieces.
Well, thanks. That'll do.
Say, is that a face you have at the front of your head, or is it a butt?
Okay, that's the way you want it. Put down that weapon. Put down that weapon.
Don't stop now! Let that be a
Don't you
lesson
ever
to him.
dare attack me again.
And now for the parry then! Watch out! Slug him! Parry then! Slug him! Slug him! Finish him! Don't stop now! Don't stop now! And now for the finish him! Finish him! Don't stop now! Finish him! Parry that! That hurt. Don't stop him now! Slug him! Finish him! Let that be a lesson to him! Shit, that hurt. Slug him! Finish him! Shit, that hurt. Don't stop now! Slug him! Slug him! Don't stop now! Don't slug him now! Finish him! Finish him! Don't stop now! Watch out! Watch out! Don't stop now! Slug him! Watch out! Finish him! Don't stop now! Don't stop now! Slug him! Parry then! Slug him! Slug him! Watch out! Let that be a lesson to him. And now for the fun part. Shit, that hurt. Slug him! Parry then! Watch out! Finish him! Don't stop now! Don't stop now! Slug him! Don't stop now! Finish him! Don't stop now! Don't stop now! Watch out! Slug him! Don't stop now! Parry then! Slug him! Slug him! Let that be a lesson to him. And now for the fun part.
Hit him!
Don't stop now!
Not bad.
Don't try that again. All right, you win. What do you want?
And? How are things?
Not many people come this way, but up to now, every one of them has paid my toll. Except you.
I have come to join you.
Nice for you. Do you understand that the mercenaries are going to vote whether you get to join them or not?
Will you vote for me?
Just because you beat me? No.
What's up?
What do you want?
Are you guarding the farmers?
We guard not only Ornar's farm, but the entire valley here. Onar wants us to come down hard on anyone who causes trouble here, so behave yourself.
Who's in charge here?
The farm belongs to Onar, if that's what you mean, but Lee is our leader. He used to be a general in the Royal Army, but he's not all that chummy with the king anymore. Remember his name. If you get into trouble here, he's probably the only one who can take care of it. Anyone else will simply have your hide.
I want to join you.
Talk to Torloff. He'll show you.
That's no secret.
You hardly know who they believe these days. I agree with you completely.
What do you want?
I've heard a thing or two. I want to have a look around the farm.
Don't go into the building on the left. Silvio's in there. He's not in a good mood right now. If he sees a weakling who doesn't belong on the farm, he might get the idea of venting his bad mood on him.
He really said that.
I want to join up with Lee.
Lee won't have much to say around here if he keeps on this way.
Easy as that.
What do you mean?
He wants us all to sit around here and twiddle our thumbs. Intimidate a few farmers now and then, and that's it. Silvio always says offense is the best defense, and damn right he is.
Know that.
Who is Silvio?
Our next leader, if you ask me. If you plan on asking him if you can join us, forget it. You look like you're barely good for herding sheep.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
myself.
Methinks I'm gonna punch you in the face.
What?
That's exactly what you need right now.
I've been too nice to you so far, haven't I?
Me anymore.
Oh my God! For the fun part. Watch out!
Ah! Ah! Ah!
Got my own opinion about that.
Is it really true?
That's the first I've heard of it.
I'm no better off myself.
Ah!
He ran like Beliar himself was after it.
Ah!
Will it ever change?
Don't say you didn't know that.
Nothing amazing.
Ah!
Not bad.
That was no big deal. About that.
What do you...
He really didn't deserve
tell
that.
There was no.
What do you want?
Hold a sword.
Of course we got him in the end.
Completely.
And that's the truth.
That's no secret.
Oh my God!
That's really
A
not
fight!
my problem.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
He doesn't even.
He ran like Beliar.
Oh!
Can't go on like this forever.
Ah!
I'm not.
He doesn't even know how to hold a sword.
Ran like Beliar himself was after him.
That's not what I heard.
I have no time for things like that.
Ah!
You have to step in and sort it out.
And now,
Don't stop now!
don't
Finish
stop
him!
now.
Watch
Shit,
out!
that hurt.
Watch
Sorry,
out!
Ben.
Give it your all. Give it your all. Show him. Hit him. Watch out.
Hit him! Not bad.
We'll see about that.
Wait a minute.
All right, you win. What do you want?
I'd like to become a mercenary here. Do you mind?
Do whatever you want.
And that's the truth.
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
What's up?
Since Onar announced he was hiring mercenaries, the court's been overflowing with nothing but rogues. All the rabble who didn't have the guts to come out of the woods before are here now. The bastards really came from everywhere.
The mercenaries came from everywhere?
Most of them came from the penal colony. Another group of mercenaries came from the south, where they were probably hunting orcs.
That's all just
I bet that a few of the bandits from the mountains have shown up as well by now to get a free meal, huh?
That's all just gossip.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
I'm not telling you anything new. You hardly know who to believe these days.
I can't believe that. I've got my own opinion about that.
That's all just gossip. You hardly know who to believe these days.
What do you know about the mercenaries from the south?
Not much. So far as I know, they were hunting orcs there. Silvio is their boss. Bulko, Sentenza, Raul, and a few others work for him.
Of course we got him in the end. Which one of them came from the colony?
Lee and his people. Torloff, Cord, Jarvis, Wolf, and whoever else.
I never knew that. What bandits were you talking about?
I'm just blabbering. I'm not really sure about it. There are mountains with abandoned mines south of the valley. Some bandits are hiding up there. They're also convicts from the colony, just like most of the mercenaries in this court. The only difference is that they're even worse scum. They kill anyone who gets too close.
I agree with you completely.
What's up?
All the
I know what to believe anymore.
I'm not telling you anything new.
No one really wants to
that
hear
all
that.
along.
That's been known.
Tell me that isn't true.
How are things?
What do you want from me, weenie?
How's it going?
That's none of your business, weakling.
Things I could tell you.
How's it going?
That's none of...
Same old thing, all over again. There's more, believe me.
Can you teach me how to handle two-handed weapons?
Listen, boy, it takes a lot of strength to wield a two-handed weapon. Why don't you slink off to the pasture for a game of Ring Around the Rosie with the sheep?
It was his decision, wasn't it? That will never change. Been there, done that.
Nobody wants to know.
I can't believe that.
I used to say that myself.
No idea, you tell me.
I couldn't get away with that.
You don't have to tell me that.
I've got no time for things like that.
Nobody ever asked
Things
for
I could tell you.
Same old thing, all over again.
I want to join the mercenaries.
There's no place for wimps around here.
I've got no time for things like that.
I am strong enough.
Nonsense, you couldn't even lift a decent sword like mine.
That'll never change.
I used to say that myself.
And that's the truth.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
You don't have to tell me that.
I said I am strong enough.
Oh, you're killing me. Want to risk a little bet?
Same old thing, all
I
over
bet I can handle your sword.
Really? How much should I relieve you of? Well, you look like a poor sucker. Let's make it 30 gold pieces. Do you even have that much?
That's no secret.
Sure.
Let me see then.
Here.
All right, let's see how strong you are.
I can't wield this weapon.
That's what I'm saying. Now give me back my weapon.
No idea, you tell me.
I think not.
What was that?
There was no big.
I think I'm going to keep it a little longer.
Just you wait, you bastard.
Had to happen sooner or later.
They're
Really? My
God.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
Hang on!
That hurt. Go ahead, hit back.
Show him!
I agree with you completely.
Hang on!
Hit back.
Where did you pick that up then?
Ow! Defend yourself.
That hit the spot.
Anything from me.
Ouch! That hurt.
I'd have gone about it differently. Is it really true?
Go ahead, hit back.
Hang on!
That hurt.
Got my own opinion about that.
Defend yourself.
That hit the spot! Nothing amazing.
Ouch! That hurt. Defend yourself.
No idea. You tell me.
Go ahead, hit back. Go ahead,
that
hit
hurt.
back.
And now for the fun part. Parry then. Watch out.
That hurt.
Finish him. Watch out.
Let him have it.
Watch
Go
out.
ahead, hit back.
Parry then.
Show him have it.
Watch out. Watch out.
Ouch! That hurt. Go ahead, hit back.
Watch out. That hurt. Watch
Parry
out.
then. Hang on!
Defend yourself.
Not bad.
No idea. You tell me.
Where did you pick that up then? It's a bad business. Sooner or later. So sure. He insisted he knew better. I couldn't get that. I've gone about it differently.
Don't you try that again.
Wait a minute.
All right, you win. What do you want?
He didn't get that from me. All that matters is strength.
I want to join the
So what about handing me my sword back first?
Here's your sword back.
High time, too.
Can't believe that.
I want to join the mercenaries.
Okay, I don't carry grudges. You can fight, and that's what counts. Most of the lads here think nothing of a little brawl amongst friends. You'll get used to that. As far as I'm concerned, you're in.
Nothing amazing me
Can you teach me how to handle two-handed weapons?
I'm not a bad fighter, but that doesn't mean I'm a good teacher. Still, I think I can show you the basics of two-handed combat anyway.
business. Of course we got him in the end. No, he insisted he knew better.
Wait a minute. How's it going?
I'm curious to see whether they'll let you join.
I'm in enough trouble as
I want to improve my two-handed fighting skills.
I agree with you completely. I'm in enough trouble as it is. I'm no better off myself. It was just like you said. That's all just gossip. He really said that. I can't help it.
I'm staying out of it.
But he knew that all along.
And that's
enough trouble as it is. If he doesn't see that,
Hey, you!
I can't help him.
Doing all right?
Hey, I know you. From the colony. What do you want here?
I've come to join you.
Why not? I've got nothing against it. Anyway, you freed our mine from the guards back then. But don't count on getting along with the others here so easily. A lot of newbies have come along since then. And some of the old mercenaries won't remember you. I almost didn't recognize you. You look rather haggard.
When the barrier fell, I barely got away with my life.
Looks like you got lucky then.
This forever. That's not what I heard. You said.
He wants to know.
Do you have anything to sell?
Oh, don't ask. Bennett, one of the new guys, takes care of the weapons and armor now. In the colony, I was responsible for Lee's entire weapons store. And then along came a trained smith and pow, I'm out of a job. I desperately need a new job, even if all I do is guard the farms out there. I don't care, just as long as I'm not twiddling my thumbs here anymore.
That's not what I heard. Like this forever.
Can you teach me anything?
I can teach you a few tricks in handling a bow if you want. I don't have anything better to do right now anyway.
Nothing amazes me so worked up.
I want to learn more about archery.
What should I teach you?
It's all just gossip.
And? Found a new task yet?
Not so far. Let me know if you have a job for me.
That was quite obvious. Gone about it differently.
Have you tried finding a job in town?
In the city? Wild horses couldn't drag me there. Or do you think I would want to work there as a militia soldier? I can just imagine myself in the courtier's uniform.
My problem.
And then that obsession with obedience. Nah, forget it. There may not be anything to do here on the farm, but at least I can do what I want.
I've heard a thing or two. It can't go on like this forever.
Nobody wants to know.
It's all just gossip. It can't go on like this forever.
Hello, pretty girl.
Just where did you escape from?
They say you are revolting against the king.
My father has decided that it's time we defended ourselves. The militia never helped us anyway. They only came here to drag off our provisions.
I've got no time for things like that.
So don't tell me that.
What kind of work is to be had here on the farm?
My father pays money to all the men who help defend the farm. Are you interested? You don't look like someone who has a passion for field labor.
How much does your father pay?
You'd have to negotiate that with him. All I know is that each mercenary here gets paid every day.
Do you really deserve that?
Are there any rules here that I should stick to?
You don't touch anything here that isn't yours. You stay away from the areas that are none of your business. And if you must pick a fight, stick to the mercenaries. If you start a brawl with the farmers, everybody here will be against you.
That was no big deal.
What's your job here?
I sell the goods that we produce. If you want to buy something, just let me know. But let me warn you, I won't stand for either haggling or stealing, understood?
That's really not my problem.
Has anything significant happened lately?
A few days ago, my father decreed that we're no longer allowed to sell anything in town. So now I'm staying here on the farm and selling my wares to visitors only.
But even that our hold a sword. Nothing is true in my opinion.
Is it?
So now
Show me your wares.
what can I offer you?
Don't tell me you didn't know that. All that matters is strength. So don't tell me that. Is it really true? He insisted he knew better.
How are things?
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible.
I used to deal in swamp weed back in the colony. Remember?
And what are you dealing in now?
Ah, don't ask. I brought a whole package of swamp weed with me from the mining colony. Many of the mercenaries like a little smoke now and then. I've earned a small fortune on the side. But some bastard stole all the weed from my chest. I'm pretty sure it was that Bodo. He bunks in the same room as me, and he always grins at me like such an idiot.
Do you really believe that?
What are you going to do about the thief then?
One of these days, I'll catch him puffing away on my weed. And then, I'll find a quiet spot and teach him a lesson he won't forget. If I knock him down here in the middle of the yard, the other farmers will notice, and I'll pay an arm and a leg.
How come?
Quite simple. We can't rough up the farmers, otherwise Lee makes us pay a heavy fine. That's the way Onar wants it. And the more witnesses there are, the more of a fuss there is. That makes things more expensive. So I'll pull the thing off nice and inconspicuously.
Nobody will learn anything from
I want to join Lee's people.
Lee's people? If Lee keeps on this way, they soon won't be his anymore.
Why?
Lee has always been a quiet one. It was that way in the colony, too. But lately, he's overdoing it. He just wants to sit here and wait until the paladins drop dead from starvation. Silvio thinks we should clean up a bit on the small farms and outside the city. I think that would make for an excellent change. At the moment, most of us are just twiddling our thumbs here. Do you want to join up anyway?
Listen to the wrong people.
I want to become one of you no matter what.
You already know that we take a vote on every new recruit.
What are you hinting at?
Well, I haven't had anything to smoke in a long time. Bring me a few swampweed reefers and you got my vote. You can surely scare some up someplace.
So don't tell me that.
About the swampweed.
I can't help him.
Here's a few stalks for you.
Oh, you are my man. You've got my vote.
Show me your wares.
Sure, help yourself.
Nobody will learn anything from me. You hardly know who to believe these days.
Tell me that.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
That was obvious all along.
It's totally
You gotta have it differently.
What are you smoking there?
Want a toke?
Sure.
You didn't know that. Insisted he knew better.
As if I didn't get away with that. As if I didn't have enough.
Not bad, huh?
Where did you get the stuff?
No time for things like that.
Who said that?
All that matters is you completely. So don't tell me that.
Do you really think?
I have my sources.
That'll only cause more trouble.
Do you do anything besides smoke?
Not at the moment.
Telling you anything new.
I want to join the mercenaries. Do you mind?
Who cares?
I agree with you completely.
I wonder that isn't true.
You don't have to ask me
that himself.
No one really wants to hear that.
I could have told her that.
Bad business.
Who thinks it's as easy as that?
Can't help him.
As if I didn't have enough.
That's all just gossip. My problem.
That was no big deal.
He should have known
He
better.
had got about it. He said that.
He really should have known better.
Do you really think?
You anything will change.
No, that isn't true.
Anything about that? Let's wait and see.
More, believe me.
That'll only cause more trouble.
You just have to listen.
I wouldn't have done that.
Never would have thought of that himself.
And there's more, believe me.
I could have told her
He's
that.
not telling you anything new.
And that's the truth.
Believe that. As if I didn't have enough
Me
more.
and how to hold a sword.
Why haven't I heard that?
Listen.
Cypher told me that someone stole a package of swampweed from him. Would you know anything about that?
No.
That was no big deal.
What to believe anymore? You already know what I think.
Bad business.
Where's the package?
What do I know?
I have to hear that.
That's
Nothing you can do about it myself.
I'll knock it out of you.
Relax, I'm way too stoned to fight with you. Here, first take a big toke.
Get away with that.
Where's the package?
What do I?
He really said that.
Do you do?
Not at the.
That's no secret.
Believe everything you hear.
You haven't told you anything new. The wrong people.
Who said that?
Decision, wasn't it?
He should have known.
That's really not
believe me.
I wouldn't think you could listen to the wrong people.
That was no big deal.
I used to say that myself.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
I'm no better off myself.
What do you want from me?
I agree with you completely.
I want to join the mercenaries.
Oh, and why do you think I should be in favor of you being accepted here?
That's all just gossip.
You can't rely on that.
Of course we got him in the end.
Put me to the test.
Did Lee send you to me?
No.
Then what are you blathering at me for?
It can't go on like this forever.
I'm no better off myself. That's...
Can you help me improve my abilities?
I could show you how to use your strength better in close combat. A lot of fighters are very weak because they don't have the technique to use their strength properly. The same is true for dexterity and ranged weapons.
Never knew that. That's all just gossip.
I want to improve my abilities.
I've heard of it.
But that was obvious all insisted he knew better.
You don't have to tell me that.
Where did you pick that up then?
I'm no better off myself. I don't even know how to hold a sword.
I couldn't care less.
Nothing amazes me.
You have to stay
How's it going?
The militia has bullied us long enough. Now that the mercenaries are on our side, they won't dare to just show up here anymore. The king may think he can get away with anything, but we're not going to take it anymore.
That's all just gossip.
That was no big deal.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
In town, they're talking about a pest.
Nonsense. We aren't doing anything except defending what we've worked hard for. It's certainly true that the war is being fought on the backs of the peasants, but Onar is no longer prepared to just stand by and watch while the king bleeds us dry.
Will it ever change?
Can I rest somewhere around here?
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the barn. But don't lie down in a mercenary's bed by mistake.
I agree with you completely.
Onar makes sure that they leave us farmers alone. But with strangers who don't belong on the farm, the mercenaries can do whatever they like.
Cypher told me somebody stole a package of swamp weed from him.
I can't help it.
And?
He thinks you're the one who took it.
Oh, that's why the guy is always gawping at me so stupidly. I've been extra friendly to him lately because he seems to have hit a rough spot. But there was nothing I could do.
He doesn't see that.
I'd look at him friendly-like, and he'd stare at me like he wanted to kill me.
First I've heard of it.
He never would have thought of that himself.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Hey, where you think you're going?
To the house, of course.
Onar pays us not to let guys like you in here.
I want to talk to Lee.
What do you want from him?
You just have to listen.
I want to join the mercenaries.
Fresh cannon fodder. Then go on in. Lee's in the right wing. Don't even think about wandering around anywhere else. But above all, leave Onar alone. He doesn't like it when people talk to him without being asked. Especially not guys like you.
Never knew that ever change.
Tell me that isn't true.
You didn't get that from me.
If he doesn't see that.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Is it really true?
Sort things out.
That's all just gossip.
Take your paws off of that! From now on, keep your paws off stuff that isn't...
What are you creeping around there for?
Hey, you! What are you creeping around there for?
Who the devil let you in here? What are you doing here? I thought you were dead.
What makes you think that?
Gorn told me it was you who brought down the barrier.
Yes, that was me, all right.
I never would have thought that a man could survive something like that. What brings you here? You aren't here without a reason.
I absolutely must talk to the paladins in town. Can you help me get to them?
What's your business with the paladins?
That's a long story.
I've got time.
Zardoz sent me on a mission. He wants me to obtain a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos.
So you're still allied to that necromancer. I see. And the paladins have this amulet?
As far as I know, yes.
I can help you get to the paladins, but first you need to become one of us.
How can you help me get to the paladins?
Trust me, I've got a plan. I think you're the right man for it. I'll take you to the paladins, and you'll do me a favor. But first, join us.
What exactly are you doing here?
Quite simple. I'm gonna see to it that we all get off this island. Onar hired us to defend his farm, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. But our reward is more than just our pay. By helping the farmers, we cut the city off from its provisions. And the less the paladins have to eat, the sooner they'll listen when I finally make them an offer of peace.
What is your offer going to look like?
Essentially, it will be about our pardons and free passage to the mainland. You'll learn more when the time comes.
Gorn told you about me? What happened to him?
You remember him, don't you?
Sure.
He got caught by the paladins and was sent back to the Valley of Mines with a penal convoy. If the road to the Valley of Mines wasn't plastered with paladins and orcs, I'd have sent a couple of the boys already to free him. But the way things are, there's no point. Poor devil.
I want to join you.
I'd hope you say that. I can use every able man here. The last mercenaries I accepted have done nothing but stir up trouble. In principle, you can start right away. Well, first there's one or two things we need to get straight, but it's no big deal.
What do I have to get straight before I can join you?
Onar, the landowner, is the one who employs us. You can only stay on the farm with his approval. And then there's the boys. I can only accept you if a majority of the mercenaries agree that you join us. But don't go to Onar before everything is straightened out. He's a very impatient fellow.
How can I convince the mercenaries to vote me in?
By doing what is expected of you as a mercenary, I should say. Talk to Torloff. He's usually outside in front of the house. He'll put you to the test. If you can pass that, you should have earned a large part of the necessary respect. He'll tell you everything else you need to know.
What do you know about the Ring of Water?
I might have known. You just have to mingle in everything, don't you?
Come on, tell me.
I'm only marginally involved in this. I know that this secret guild exists here and that the water mages are behind it. Since the fall of the barrier, I am no longer bound to the agreement I came to with the water mages back then. Of course, I still help when I can, but most of the time, I have my own problems and barely any time for other things. If you want to know more about it, you should probably talk to Cord. He's one of them, as far as I know.
I'm ready to join you.
Not before you've passed Tarloff's test.
Everything fine with you?
So, you want to join us then, hmm? Do you even have a decent weapon?
How did you end up with the mercenaries?
I came with Silvio from the south. We belong to an army of mercenaries which fought against the orcs.
What's your opinion of Silvio?
He's a dangerous fella, and many of the mercenaries who came with him this far listen to what he says. Better not pick a fight with him.
What's your opinion of Lee?
I think that the only thing Lee is really interested in is getting away from this island. He wants to go to the mainland,
seems to have a bone to pick with someone there. At any rate, he does a far better job than Silvio ever could. Moreover, he's a good leader. Most of the time, we can do whatever we want here.
Would you mind if I joined you?
Once you have passed the test, I shall vote for you.
What weapons do you have to offer?
Only the best. Just take a look at them.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
That was obvious all along. I'd have gone about it differently.
You really didn't deserve that.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
You have to step in and sort things out.
Is it really true?
I already thought as much.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion. Beliar himself was after him.
He doesn't say that. That's all just gossip.
Beliar himself was after him. Himself was after him. You have to step in and sort things out.
Nobody listens to wrong people.
Don't even think about touching anything here. Otherwise, you'll get a couple upside the head. Got it?
What's your job?
Onar wants me to spend all day keeping an eye on his stuff. He's worried that something will go missing, and I would too in his place. Most of the mercenaries he's hired are former convicts from the penal colony. They'll walk off with everything that isn't nailed down if no one watches out.
There's a whole bunch of junk here.
That's right, and most of it is extremely valuable. Onar collects valuable objects. A simple man like me can hardly afford such luxury. I stick to other things.
And that would be?
I collect old coins.
I've got an old coin here.
Show me. Oh yeah? That won't bring much on the open market. I'll pay you a gold piece for it. Exactly as much as it used to be worth.
Not quite enough. What about 2?
Nothing doing. I'm not a loony. Beat it.
I've got an old coin here.
You know what I'm prepared to pay for it, you dog. 1 gold piece, no more.
Not quite enough. What about 2?
Ah, damn, all right. 2 gold coins for every old coin you can bring me. That's my final offer.
It's a deal.
Good. Here's 2 gold coins.
Interested in some more old coins?
Sure. You still have any?
A few.
Thanks. Here's your money. Bring me all you can find.
Has anyone tried to steal anything yet?
A few, and I caught them all.
Who let you in here? What are you doing here on my farm?
Everything all right here on the farm?
I don't see how that's any of your business. You don't belong on the farm.
I want to work for you.
I don't need a farmhand right now. My people see to everything else. You have no business here in the house, so get out.
You're revolting against the city, or so I've heard.
Now listen up. I inherited this farm and this land from my father. And he inherited it from his father. I'm not going to allow that greedy imbecile of a king to make off with all that just in order to feed his useless armies. The war with the orcs has been going on forever. And where do we stand? On the edge of defeat. No, I prefer to defend my farm myself. The money that I save this way can pay for my own army.
I want to work here as a mercenary.
You? A mercenary? Don't make me laugh. If you were any good as a mercenary, Lee would have told me about you. Now get yourself out of here, pronto.
I want to buy a sheep.
What are you doing here, then? See a sheep anywhere? If you want to buy a sheep, go out to the pasture. It's to the right of my house. Have Pepe sell you one.
He ran like Beliar himself was after him.
Hey, you!
I agree with you completely.
Put me to the test.
Did Lee send you to me?
He said you would help me.
Fine. So here we go. There are 2 things you have to do before you can join us. First, you have to prove that you're capable of mastering the tasks that you will have to fulfill as a mercenary. I'll put you to the test. And second, you have to earn the respect of the other mercenaries.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
Well, how can I earn the respect of the other mercenaries?
For most of them, it'll be enough if you fulfill your task and pass my test. But you'll have to find some other way of convincing some of them. Some will try and exploit your situation, and others may not like your mug. You should try to get along with as many of the boys as possible. But if nothing else helps, then you can always take part in a duel. If you win, you'll earn the respect of most of them. But watch out that you don't kill one of them by accident, because then you'll have a big problem.
That's the first I've heard of it.
What are the rules for a duel?
Quite simple. Both opponents have to have the opportunity to draw their weapons before the first blow. You can't just go and belt one of the men without warning. There has to be some sort of spoken challenge, an insult, or another reason to fight. None of the other men will interfere in a fight like that, unless one of the 2 gets killed in the duel.
I'm no better off myself. Not my problem.
What about you? Will you vote me in?
If you can prove that you can fulfill the duties of a mercenary, yes.
Bad business. You listen to the wrong people.
You don't have to step in and sort things out. I'm not touching that.
He never would have thought of that himself.
What are my duties as a mercenary?
Onar hired us for 2 reasons. He wants us to keep the militia off his back, and he wants us to keep things in order on his farms. That includes collecting the rent when the small farmers won't pay. So, what'll it be?
Thought about it differently.
No one really wants to hear the end.
I never knew that.
I'll deal with the militia. Don't worry.
The farmer Bengar has complained that lately the militia from the city has been getting on his nerves. They're pressuring the farmer, probably trying to make him break with Onar. I want you to go to his farm and make it clear to the militia that they have no business there. Questions?
How can I find Bengar's farm?
In the southwest of the valley is a big stairway that leads to a high plain. That's where Bengar's farm is. If you get lost, ask the farmers in the fields how to find your way around the area.
But you can't rely all along. I don't believe this is going to change.
Don't tell me you didn't. That's all just gossip.
Wait a minute.
You hardly know who to believe.
How's my reputation among the mercenaries?
Let's see. Wolf says he has nothing against you joining. Cypher says that for him it was crystal clear that you'd get to join. Something seems to have made him really happy. You seem to have convinced Rod that you're strong enough. Sentenza won't vote for you. He says you still own 50 gold pieces. I don't need to say anything about Silvio and Bolko. Those two morons are against everyone. The rest of the mercenaries haven't said anything. Most of them are just waiting to see if you pass the test. At any rate, you won some fair duels already. You're far from done, kid. If you want us to accept you, you'll have to do something for it.
That's not what I heard. I'd have gone about it differently.
I want...
I used to say that myself.
That was obvious all along. Business. Is it really true?
You can't rely on everything you hear.
I could say he didn't know that. He never would have thought of that himself.
No one really wants to hear that.
That's all just gossip.
Of course we got him in the end.
Hey, I do not sell any weapons. Khaled does. He's in the house with Onar. What kinds of weapons do you make? Plain swords at the moment, not much else. But if I had some magic ore, I can forge weapons that are better than all comparable weapons made from regular old steel. You wouldn't happen to know where to find some around here. Besides in the Valley of Mines, I mean. No, of course not. Are you with the farmers or the mercenaries? You're pulling my leg, aren't you? I was just curious. Have you ever seen a farmer who also forges weapons? No. Then why do you ask such stupid questions? He didn't get that from me. Can you teach me how to forge a sword? Sure. That'll cost you a bit, though. Let's say 30 gold pieces. Fine. Here's 30 for you. That was a damn good price, too. We can start as soon as you're ready. Nobody will learn everything from me. Teach me how to forge magic ore weapons. But you don't even know the basics. First, you need to learn how to forge a decent sword. Then we'll see. What about forging equipment? What do you need?
Nothing amazes me anymore.
I don't believe this is going to change.
What do you need?
All that matters is strength. So don't tell me that.
It can't go on like this forever.
Gossip.
I've got no time for things like that.
Hey, you! Hello, I'm new here.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm not really in the mood for conversation. I'm totally wrecked.
You're awfully busy, huh?
You can say that again. Bennett makes so many weapons that I can hardly keep up with the polishing.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
What can you tell me about the farm?
This is Onar's farm. That big building is his house. He vacated a wing for the mercenaries. We farmers have had to bunk in the barn ever since. But it's all right with me. It's good that we have people who guard the farm. The building here is the kitchen. Maybe you'll be lucky and Thekla will have something for you to eat.
What about the mercenaries?
Onar hired them to keep the city militia off our backs. But they also guard the farm, the sheep, and us farmers. So don't even think about stealing anything or rummaging around in somebody's chest. They're just waiting for a chance to knock you down.
Nothing amazing. Can I buy weapons from you?
I don't have much. We take almost all the swords and axes into Onar's house.
Believe everything you hear. But he knew that all along.
He really should have known better.
He really said that these days.
Hey, you!
That's really not my problem.
Who thinks it's as easy as that?
That's really not my problem.
Couldn't get away with that.
It was quite obvious.
That's the truth.
I don't believe this is going to sound about it different.
It happens sooner or later.
It was quite obvious.
With you completely.
Who thinks it's as easy as that?
Nobody would make anything of me.
Just listen to him talk.
Is it really true?
It's all just gossip. Can't rely on that.
He doesn't see that. I can't help him.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible. I was in the colony too.
Right. What do you want?
How's the situation?
Right now, we've got real trouble. 2 factions are building up amongst us mercenaries. Silvio and his people doubt that Lee is following the right plan.
How come there are 2 factions?
Most of us came out of the colony with Lee back then, but some of the mercenaries hooked up with us later. They didn't come from the colony, but were farther south fighting the Yorks. Somehow they got wind that Lee needed people. Their leader was Silvio. He agreed that Lee was in charge, but now he's trying to stir up the mercenaries against him and his plan. A lot of Lee's people don't think that it's a big problem, but I know guys like Silvio. He'll go to extremes to realize his ideas.
Do you know what Lee's intentions are?
Lee wants us to wait and starve the paladins in the city. He is planning to get us all away from the island, and Enos knows I've got nothing against getting away from here. I don't really know how he's planning to go about it, but I trust him. He's led us well so far.
Do you know what Silvio is planning?
Silvio found out that some of the paladins have moved out to the old colony. He says the rest of the paladins wouldn't dare to attack us here and wants to take advantage of the situation, plunder the small farms, waylay the militia patrols outside the city, hold up travelers, things like that. But Lee thinks that would be the worst thing we could do in our situation.
I want to become a mercenary.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Where's the problem?
Well, I either have to vote for you or against you. And in the situation we're in, I'll only vote for you if I can be sure that you're on Lee's side.
So what should I do?
Simple. Beat up a few of Silvio's boys. That way both sides will know exactly where you stand. And if you stick to the rules for a duel, you'll even win the respect of the others.
What are the rules for a duel?
Go to Torloff and let him explain it if you're interested. Just so we understand each other. I don't care if you stick to the rules or not, just as long as the boys wind up out cold in the mud.
Which of the mercenaries are Silvio's men?
There are 6 men. First of all, Silvio himself and his right-hand man, Bulco. Then there's Rod, Sentenza, Fester, and Raoul. The rest of the people are either neutral or on Lee's side.
How many of Silvio's people should I defeat?
If you knock 3 of them to the ground, then you've proven which side you're on. Whom you choose is your business. Just one little hint. This isn't about proving your courage. Don't go up against Silvio himself. He'll make mincemeat out of you.
How many of Silvio's men are still on my list? Rod looks a little worse for the wear. Sentenza was trying to squeeze some gold out of me. Not a smart idea. Fester tried to take me for a ride. That was his mistake. I went to see Raoul.
And?
He was badly in need of a proper licking.
That's enough. That's enough. I'm impressed. If Lee asks me, I can vote for you without hesitation.
What are you doing here in my kitchen?
Something smells delicious here.
Oh, yes. I know the likes of you. They're swarming all over the place. First, they try to get on your good side, and then when you need them, they're nowhere to be seen.
Believe me.
I'm hungry.
I don't dish out food to tramps. I only feed people who work. And that mercenary riffraff, of course.
As if I didn't have enough problems.
I'm looking for work.
You want to work here on the farm? Only Onar can decide that. The farm is his, and so is the entire valley.
Nothing's ever gonna change.
Actually, I was planning to join the mercenaries.
So you're another of those felons from the penal colony? I might have known. Just leave me alone. There's already enough of your kind around here.
No one really wants to hear that.
I need a place to sleep.
Don't even think about sleeping in my kitchen. Go find yourself a place in the barn.
He should have known better.
What's your problem with the mercenaries?
Ah, those morons really get on my nerves, especially Silvio and his fat buddy Bulco. The two of them have been sitting in their corner for days now, making life miserable for me. The soup's too hot, the meat's too tough, etc. and so forth.
Then why don't you do anything about it?
And what am I to do, Mr. Smarty Pants? Whack them with my rolling pin? I can do that to the farmers, but these lowly bastards just hit back.
Want me to teach the two of them some manners?
You better not try that, honey. As far as I know, Silvio has magic armor. He can't be defeated.
What about Bulco?
That guy is as strong as an ox. So far, he has flattened anyone who tried to mess with him or Silvio.
Those are all just rumors.
Nobody wants to know.
Nobody ever asks me.
Hey, you! What are you creeping around there for? Hey, you! What are you creeping around there for? Hey, you! What are you creeping around there for?
Who said that?
You don't have to
I could have told you that before. I don't want to hear that anymore.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
That'll only cause more trouble. That's
I'm no better off myself.
I used to say that myself.
Who said
Don't
that?
tell me you didn't know that.
I used to say
There've
that
been all
myself.
kinds of rumors. Do you really think?
I couldn't get away with that.
It has come to my attention that you have it in for my boys, and as far as I know, you're one of Lee's protégés. I'm warning you, a few things are going to be different around here soon, and we'll talk about this again then.
Hey!
We need to talk, you and I.
What do you want?
I think the best thing would be if you didn't show your face on the farm anymore. See to it that you're gone by tomorrow. We understand each other.
The two of us should have a chat.
I wouldn't know about what.
I'm not going to leave here.
I guess we're gonna have to discuss this again.
I'm not telling you anything new. I don't believe this is gonna change.
Put down that weapon! See? That wasn't so hard.
He never would have thought of that himself. He doesn't say that. I can't help him. You mustn't believe everything you hear. You got my own.
Ah, a fight.
He thinks this is
Hit him!
Let him have it.
Parry then!
And now for...
What you waiting
for?
I could tell you.
Don't
Yeah,
stop
that's
now!
the ticket.
You can't rely on that.
Slug him!
Show him.
Same old thing, all over again.
What you waiting for?
Let him have it.
And that's the truth.
Show
Slug
him.
I couldn't care less. You just have to listen.
Slug him!
No idea.
Attaboy!
You don't have to.
Don't take any crap!
No idea. You tell me.
What you waiting for?
Tell me that isn't true.
What you waiting for?
Been there, done that. I couldn't care less.
Not bad at all. He deserved that.
Oh my god, a fight!
A fight.
I'm staying out of this.
From me. No one get that from me. Gone about it differently.
Ah, a
Get away with that.
That hurt.
Say that myself.
Not bad.
You
It was his decision, wasn't it?
That's been known a
The
long
things I
time.
could tell you.
And now for the fun part. Ah, a fight. Hit him!
him! You showed him. Hang on! Give it your all. Watch out! Show him! Hang on! Show him! Hang on! Hang on! A fight? You showed him. Give it your all. Show him. Hang on.
Don't you try that again.
Wait a minute. The two of us should have a chat.
Listen, you won. Now leave me alone.
Wait a minute.
Happen sooner or later. I'm staying out of it.
I'm not telling you anything yet. That's not what I heard.
How's it going? Have I given you permission to address me?
A lot of people talk about you.
A lot of people talk too much.
What do you think of Lee?
Oh, he's a good fighter. I wouldn't ever want to pick a fight with him. Unless, of course, it couldn't be avoided.
How's it go?
Have I given you...
Thekla has a problem with you.
So, what is the dear lady's problem? And why doesn't she come herself?
You know that damn well.
Why don't you go discuss that with my friend Bulko for a while?
Hey, asshole!
You don't actually think I'd get involved in a duel with you? Go crawl back under your rock.
How's it going?
Have I given you permission to address me?
The two of us...
Listen.
Nothing to plunder.
You really let Bulko have it, honey. Must have been an exhausting job to thrash that fat swine.
I've got no time for things like that.
Here, have a bite to eat so you'll gain back your strength.
I don't want to hear that.
Don't you try that again.
You're here.
Can I have some more of your stew?
I haven't got any now.
Not even a tiny bowl?
No.
Can I lick the pot then?
Will you cut it out? If you're so keen on my stew, you'll have to do something to get it.
No secret.
What?
Go see Sagita, the healer who lives behind Sekop's farm, and bring me a package of her herbs. If you bring me the herbs, I'll make you some stew.
I could have told you that before.
That will never change.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
I can't believe that.
People. That's really not my problem.
They can't rely on that.
This forever.
Is it really true? You hardly know who to believe these days.
What do we have here? Don't I know you from somewhere?
Who wants to know?
I'm Buster, one of Lee's mercenaries. And you had better be a little nicer to me, or I'll have your hide. All right. What do you want here?
If you say so. I'm on my way to see the landowner.
Indeed. You don't look all that dangerous to me.
Want to find out?
Oh my. I picked on the wrong fella, didn't I?
You could say so.
Then come on. Show me what you've got.
Let him have it. Show him. Go ahead, hit back. Ouch! That hurt. Go ahead, hit back. Not bad.
Nothing to plunder. Hey, you!
Well, we'll see the next time. All right, you're the better fighter. What do you want?
I want to find out more about the mercenaries in this region.
I can't tell you much about this region. You'd better ask the farmers. And as for us mercenaries, we have a very simple rule. If you can stand your ground, you're in. I think you're made of the right stuff to be one of us. But you shouldn't let it get to your head that you lucked out during our last fight. There are plenty of guys on the farm who are quite a bit better than I am. Sentenza, for one. He guards the entry to the farm. Whatever you do, don't pick a fight with him.
What about this Sentenza?
He'll try to squeeze some gold out of you when you come to the farm. He does that to all newcomers. And if I were you, I'd pay up. That's what I did back then. And the good thing was that he voted for me afterwards. One good turn deserves another, he said. I lost all my gold in the bargain, but it wasn't much to begin with. And I was glad of it in the end. I once watched him beat up a fellow who had decided not to pay him.
Thanks for the hint.
Indeed. Could it be worth anything to you?
Here you are.
Thanks, man. Looks like I can take a few tonight after all. I won't forget this.